welcome to Virus and Trend, where you have heavily commented on the stories and caused those stories to trend across all social media. I am Marian Delepe, and here's what's trending today. Started strong on our list this morning. Number one, Osun State, another development generating even bigger conversations online. The president, now Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has now ordered the EFCC to withdraw and unfreeze the Osun State Government accounts. President Tinubu directing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to immediately approach the court and vacate the order freezing the Osun State Government's bank accounts. According to the president, although the EFCC has the legal authority to investigate financial crimes, freezing the state accounts just days before the governorship election is embarrassing. That's the word the presidency has used. But then we had some comment from Mr. Madwa Buchi, a senior advocate of Nigeria, on television, came out to defend the president's action. And a lot of Nigerians have got some comments as well. But first off, let me take to that moment where he granted that interview.
The president, like I said, given the circumstances of what was transpiring, it was very necessary that he had to come in. And let us look at what the president said. The timing was what he quarreled with.
Indeed.
Yes, he never said, don't investigate, don't close accounts, don't. But he said, the way you did it is wrong. Remove it now. After the elections, go back and continue your work. I don't look at it as being unnecessary interference.
I mean, lots of conversation, reactions, debate online. Is the EFCC independent? Do you need the presidency to step in? And why is the Sun talking like this? Some are for, some are against, some... I mean, a lot of reactions online. But some comments caught our attention. I will take a look at them quickly. At Olakunle says, wow, I finally get to listen to a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN. All right. No wonder the great Gani Fayemi didn't want any part of it. My head hurts as I listen to this San. Nothing personal. Mr. Madabuchi is a true reflection of body of San. Good Lord. Okay. I don't know where he was driving to, but that's one comment. How many investigators in the past has Tinubu asked them to hold their fire on the time bin? No wonder Okowa and Yahaya Bello is working free, and the later is even contesting for senatorial position upon all the EFCC allegation on his head. That's from Digital Cred on X. Also, another comment that caught attention at Vandech said, the timing was poor. EFCC fumbled. Really? There's some comments who say, if indeed there was some discrepancy in that account, there's some movements that shouldn't be, why shouldn't the EFCC investigate? Some are saying, why should the president step in? Is the EFCC not independent? Can they use their own mandates to do that? Your thoughts, this point is very much welcome. Use the hashtag Virus and Trend on X and tweet at us at the Real Media NG. Virus and Trend, we Marian, and I'm sure to take your comments. But away from mushroom politics, another anti-corruption story is making headlines. The ICPC recommends prosecution over the alleged fake federal agency. Of course, you've known about this story, the PFIPC. Now, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, is recommending the prosecution of Adeniyi Adeyemi, that's the fake DG of the fake agency, following investigations into the alleged fictitious council now. But then, according to the commission, preliminary findings indicated that appointment letters, official gazettes, and several documents, linked to the council were all forged. And now is excusing the presidency, but now indicting the ICPC, not the ICPC now, the said fake DG. So if you are letting go of presidency and now you're saying this, but then remember, there should have been a closed-door meeting with Adeniyi yesterday, which he rightly refused and said he wants his hearing to be public before the eyes of everyone. I mean, everyone who's come before the committee had come in, of course, before everyone. So why is this on in the private? So some are saying, why should you free the presidency when there were so many agencies who ran with his story and then indicting Adeniyi himself? But let's take it to that moment where the presentation of the investigation, interim investigation to the president.
It's a report. So this is the interim report, which is Excellency directed us to investigate the issue of Mr. Matthew Adeyemi over the fake agency which we have submitted to Excellency today. And our deadline is supposed to be tomorrow, so we are submitting before the deadline elapsed. Recall, on the 7th of July, Mr. President has directed ICPC to conduct an investigation into the fake Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council and to submit the report within 30 days. And today is exactly 30 days, which we have submitted an interim report of what we have discovered based on an interaction with the stakeholders involved in the issue. Now, the President has took right decision in the spirit of transparency and accountability and directed ICPC to address the media for the benefit of Nigerians so that Nigeria will know what our investigation discovered. So, following from the interim report, we have discovered and it has been established that Adeyemi Matthew was never appointed by the federal government or any authority of government.
That is the report from the ICPC chairman right there, Musa Adamu, and he said investigation established that Adeyemi was never appointed by the federal government and that the PFIPC also referred to in some documents as a presidential foreign intervention promotion was never created by any law. Now, this investigation also uncovered 2 other fake agencies that Adeyemi was also using. He said the FCT Investment Promotion Agency and the Foreign Investment Promotion Agency was also created, and the Public-Private Partnership were also created. That's 2 extra agencies we didn't even know, but this investigation has uncovered as well. But then, there are comments. Right now, I'll take some of your comments that you wrote in on social media. At Nze M.A. Okafo says, only in Nigeria can someone allegedly head an office that never existed. Even fiction writers would reject that plot as unrealistic. All right, that's someone coming in there. And somebody also commented at Zik Zuko on X said, so ICPC spent 30 days and the only person they recommend for prosecution is the fake DG? What about the people in budget office, SGF office, and the NITDA who allowed a phantom agency to get 1.3 billion naira in the budget? Are we supposed to clap? Those are some of the comments what words he said in that comment now. And lastly, one comment that also caught our attention, he says, can a video, that's from Akbo MD, says, can a video show when the lock was broken down, shown? At least 3 should be in CCTV in that environment. I mean, that comment came in. I would say to just run with it. But then, your comments are still very much welcome. To wrap up Virus and Trend this morning, President Bola Tinubu says the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is set to be listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The president says the move is part of ongoing economic reforms aimed at opening up more investment opportunities for Nigerians and strengthening the country's capital market. He also praised his economic team, noting that investor confidence is growing, with the Nigerian exchange now recording a market value of over 160 trillion naira. Let's take a look.
All forward, I could look back and look at Aramco and others and see how the oil producing of Saudi Arabia was, the life of publicly quoted company. We can refine and do NNPC, reform to the extent that one day the totality of it, not just the arms and legs, the totality of it will be listed on there. thank you all to all the revenue service and many other people in the team for what we are doing.
And that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu speaking to the officials from the NNPCL. Now, Nigerians has got words. Let's take a look at some of the comments. At Empire Great 9 said, you find a way to always bring the opposition into every conversation. He says, Peter Obi finally pursue this man come out from bunker. All right, that's a comment that he said. And another comment from Eruja said, this is a welcome development. There will be improved corporate governance and better accountability. Jagaban for a reason. All right. Another comment that caught our attention at Ike Naochie. Shouldn't this have happened already, especially as subsidy had been removed from day one? Lot of comments. Stammer also had words on X to comment on this topic. With too much corruption on that sector, I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, like I always say, for every matter, there's some who are for and there are some who are against. And finally, from the shores of Nigeria, we head overseas where immigration policy is once again dominating headlines in the United States. Of course, Donald Trump, the president, renews push to limit birthright citizenship as once again sparked a lot of controversy and conversation. Let's take it to the moment where Donald Trump spoke about this issue.
And we're not going to let it happen. So, Steve, if you will, please.
Yes, so today the President signed these two executive orders here relating to birthright citizenship and birth tourism. As the President mentioned, the 14th Amendment was passed exclusively in the aftermath of the Civil War so to ensure that the children of slaves would be citizens. It had no other meaning and purpose outside of that.
So we're cracking down very big crackdowns, and this will give us the right to do it in a much more forceful manner. But they've taken birthright citizenship and they've made a joke out of it. And we're actually the only country of size, I think just about the only country, period, that does birthright citizenship. I thought we were going to win it at the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, we had a bad decision, very unfair decision. Our country suffers because of it, and we're ending it a different way.
As usual, comments are boring. Nigerians especially are concerned. They want to have that citizenship for their children when they go over there to have them. But then one comment that caught attention at Judah says, let's pass the Freedom from Religion Act. This is the law allows for any human being to leave their religion or their parents' religion in peace. Stop the naming Chinatown. These areas are owned by many other, many other Asians, not just Chinese. Create a military USA fire force. We need this. So he had to touch on everything that he said on while briefing the press. But guess what? This is where we leave it for today on Virus and a Trend. It comes your way every weekday to keep you up to speed with what's happening across social media. But another extended version of Virus and Trend will be on Rebroadcasting Network, so you don't want to miss out. So keep it right here on our YouTube channel to continue to monitor activities as they unfold.